Okay.
But so how did you get from starting to where you made it to the WWE? Well, back then the WWF. Because who was your first preliminary match?
Okay, so 90 I started training. 1991 I had my very first match, and so this is going to bring us back to Bill Anderson again. So now Bill would wrestle on these shows that my trainer Steve Gatorwolf would put on, and they used to just call them the Hell Tours. You know, we'd go through and do Northern Arizona Navajo reservations, and we would be on the road for basically 2 weeks, wrestling every night, 2 weeks at a time. We do them in the springtime, and we do them in the wintertime. So Bill would wrestle for the WWF and on television matches, and then when they would do events in like the LA Sports Arena and different parts of Southern California, sometimes he would ring announce. So he had that in. So he contacted me in 1993. So now I'm only 3 years in, 2 years training, and he thought I was ready to go out and basically have a match on television against one of the superstars. So he contacted me, got me booked, and it was at the America West Arena at that time. So
Here in Arizona,
yeah, here in Arizona, here in Phoenix. So this was the night after WrestleMania 7 in Las Vegas. So then they come to Phoenix to tape. At that time it was Wrestling Challenge and Superstars. So Monday night they were taping Wrestling Challenge. Tuesday night in Tucson they were going to tape Superstars. So I ended up being booked for both nights and not really being told anything other than this is where you need to be, this is the time you need to be there. And that was it.
Didn't tell you who you're wrestling?
No, not a clue. So I show up and not knowing how it worked. So I'm nervous to begin with. I stop and I get something to eat on the way because I have no idea what to expect. I think it's going to be a long day, right? So I show up, don't know where to go. Security let me in the building. I just walked in, I had my bag, and I didn't know where to go, so I found a place just to sit down. And because it was so overwhelming, I just sat down, just kind of taking it all in and watching people walk by and everything. And so one of the Headshrinkers, who later he later went on to become Fatu and then Rikishi.
Dude, you're killing it with the old school.
So
Seriously.
he came up to me, saw me sitting there, and
People are going to be Googling those names. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the father of the Usos.
Yeah.
Yes. So for to make it look more current. Yes. So
Yeah.
he came over and asked if I was okay, and I was like, yeah. And I introduced myself to him, and he's like, so have you checked in with at this time with Tony Gurria? Have you checked in with Tony Gurria? No, I don't know who Tony Gurria is. I don't know where to go. And he's like, come with me. So he basically took the time to take me where I needed to go, introduce me to the right people, show me where the locker rooms were, told me I could dress right next to them.
This was my next question for you too, and so I'm glad you kind of rolled into this. How did the older wrestlers perceive you as you kind of came in? Because I know from our personal experience when you had some that were very forward and nice, and then you had others who were very reserved and or kind of assholes.
Oh, and it was very true then too,
Yeah.
And for Kishi to come up to me, that was very nice of him, And
Yeah.
like I said, he even took me into the locker room and said, "All right, you can get dressed right over here with us. Just throw your bags there." And it was a different time then. Now, they don't even call the guys wrestlers anymore. They're extras. The local talent that they'll bring in to do they're called just like in acting. They're an extra.
Yeah.
And they'll have their own little area to dress in, and it's usually like a broom closet or a curtained off little area. And okay, that's for them. They don't let them dress with the superstars anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. And so back then, you actually felt like one of the boys because they would either accept you and bring you in and let you be with them, or they wouldn't, and you'd end up dressing in the hallway, which I've seen a few guys do. So it just really depends on how you carry yourself and how you interact with people.
Right.
And that was one thing that I was taught early on when I started training was how to be, how to carry myself, how to act.
I feel like even as you like became what you are today and a mentor and a trainer to wrestlers, you've always kind of carried that too. Like you did well at teaching a lot of the guys around us kind of that mentality. We were forever grateful for what you did for us. So
well, thank you. Yeah, but that to me was just as important, if not more important, than the actual wrestling part. Because you could be a great wrestler, great athlete, be able to do anything in that ring, but if you cannot get along with the rest of the talent, then what good are you?
Yeah.
You know, you're just another guy that nobody wants to deal with. And,
right.
You know, so anyway, yeah. So my first match actually ended up being against the Headshrinkers that night. So what they would do is they would put up a board, and you'd look at the board and look for your name basically, and they would have the superstars' names and then versus and then whoever else.
Right.
And so I saw my name and another local guy that I had never met before across from them. So I went back over to him a little later and said, hey, I'm working with you guys tonight. He's like, oh, okay, where's the partner, tag team partner? I said, I don't know, I'll find him. He goes, when you find him, bring him over. So I found the guy, brought him over, and they told us to sit down. We sat down right across from Samu and Fatu, and they said, okay, what do you guys like to do?
I'm surprised they gave you that much.
And, well, that's the thing. It's almost a trick question.
Yeah.
What do you guys like to do? And my answer was, whatever you need me to do. The other guy's answer,
the correct answer.
Exactly. The other guy's answer was everything he liked to do. I can do this move and that move, and just to see the look on the faces of the Headshrinkers, they both kind of just looked at each other, looked at him, looked at me, looked back at each other, and then said, okay, and then, all right, here's what we're going to do. And then they planned out the match, and they told me, as soon as we throw you out of the ring, don't get back in. I was like, yes, sir. So
this is already bad.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
So it was a rough match. You know, they're two big, rough Samoans that just, I mean, I think I lost a good handful of hair in that match. It's just from them picking you up and moving you around. I mean, they're just so, you know, they're not dangerous, just rough. They manhandle you, you know. So I'm going with it. I'm just taking everything they're dishing out. Then next thing you know, I get thrown out of the ring, and he comes in, and I just lay there like I'm told. I just stay on the outside. And at that time, Alpha from the Wild Samoans was their manager. So he was standing on that side. He walked over next to me, just leaned down, and he said, "You did good." I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, that's what I'm thinking inside. I don't know, dare say anything. I'm just
still trying to sell.
Yes, I'm laying there, you know, and it's not much selling when you really just feel like you got hit by a truck. So
I like it.
Next thing you know, I hear the bell ring. Match is over. Referee comes over, kind of like picks me up off the ground, says, "All right, come on," takes us to the back, and then tells us, "Wait here." And it's we go through the curtain. They call it gorilla position. It's the last spot you see before you head out to the ring.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the holding area.
Right.
So he said, "All right, wait here." And so we stood there, and I looked over at my tag team partner that I had for the night. His mouth was bleeding.
Oh.
He was welted up. He looked like he got beat. And here I am thinking, man, that was rough, but I'm okay, you know.
Yeah.
So we were waiting. Then the three of them come through. Samu, Fatu, and Alpha come through, and right away, Alpha comes over and gives me a hug. Says, "You did great." And so did Fatu. Fatu goes, "Oh, easy, thank you, brother, thank you." And then Samu just shook my hand. So I'm thanking them. I thank you guys. And then they didn't even look at the other guy. And then they just walked on, went to the dressing room. So
almost like kiss of death. Right?
Exactly.
Like that means your career's over.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So now fast forward to the next night in Tucson, and that guy wasn't there. Yeah. So he was politely told, "Don't show up tomorrow.
You're not needed."
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was my very first match.
So, hey, if you have liked and subscribed, go ahead and look down below in the description. You can find links to all of our platforms, and follow, like, subscribe on those as well, please. And go ahead, when you subscribe to our page here on YouTube, let us know what you think, write your comments, and click that little bell so you get links to new posts every day and every week that we put them up.